Hello everyone and welcome to Europa Universalis 4. I've recently got back into this game, started playing multiplayer with a friend, and I'm like, what better time to start a EU4 series than now, when my favorite country has just had an overhaul. We're going to be playing as Brandenburg in this. It'll be a lot of fun. And we'll be trying to... I think our main goal will just be to form Prussia. Like, bonus points if we establish Germany. Because we can. I think we'll do a lot of messing with the HRE. Like, by the way, for those of you who don't know about EU4... Good. I don't know too much about it either. I mean, I'm like 3/4 of the way to finishing like one long session. Imagine Hearts of Iron 4, but like... 400 years of medieval history rather than a 20-year time period, So this is going to be a long series. And I hope you guys will stay with me. I will be doing my best to explain as we go for people who may not know the game that well. It'll also be a sort of a quiz for myself to see how well I understand everything, and if I don't understand something correctly, I will go read up on the wiki and then try to explain it better. Because hey, let's get better at the game while we're here, shall we? But yeah, for those of you who are already aware of the game and whatnot, great. Try to go easy on me. I will not do things 100% optimally. Although I will try and go for things like strategic royal marriages, so we might be able to get a personal union. But anyway, enough yabbering for now. Let's get into the single player, shall we? And we'll be playing as little Brandenburg over here. We'll have these core provinces. And we'll have a reason to go to war right away. Other interesting countries of note are the Ottomans, Castile, which is basically Spain, Portugal, France, England, Austria, who is currently the Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. But yeah, we'll be playing as Brandenburg, one of the electors in the Holy Roman Empire. So we have a relative good position of power. Now, we've got a decent ruler over here. You can see stats for the ruler, that sort of thing. Our ideas, we'll get more into that later on. We start off with a truce with Hungary, so we can't fight them right away, which is fine. Quick note for settings, by the way. We're going to be playing on normal difficulty. No lucky nations. We're going to play single player, so that doesn't really worry me. We're not going to use random new world, so we don't need terra incognita, so we can see the entire world, basically. Use dynamic province names, because fun. Don't need to see monthly tax income. We'll go for color-owned wastelands. Exclaves will use the region name. We will go for the idea limited thing over here, which is a new thing with the 1.19 update, which we will be playing on. And no fantasy random new world. There we go. Yeah, Brandenburg. Let's see how far we can get. We'll be playing in normal mode. I'm not going to switch on Iron Man mode. I'm just going to play relaxed. Also, every time I flick on Iron Man, I get a little bit worried about saves going incompatible. So we're going to give the game a little bit to initialize, and then we'll take stock of our country, and hopefully I'll do an okay job of explaining precisely what the hell is going on. For those of you who might not know. Okay, so we have loaded. We've got little Brandenburg here. We've got Fog of War, as usual. We've also got Terra Incognita, which is just parts of the world we haven't explored yet, so we can't see what's going on over there. Which, fair enough. Now, we get a bunch of indicators over here, as well as like things like our money, manpower, which is useful for armies. Sailors, the same, but for navies. We currently don't have a port, so we don't have to worry about a navy yet. Stability basically indicates how stable your country is. Yeah, it's also affects things like unrest, tax income. It affects a lot of things. Basically, high stability is good, low stability is bad. But it can also be good. But we'll talk about that when we get there. We've got corruption. Corruption is bad. Increases due to unbalanced research, overextension, and if your country is religiously divided. Having corruption is bad, but having high corruption does also have some good sides, so it's not 100% bad. But generally, we'll be trying to avoid corruption. Prestige. Basically, how awesome you are. Being awesome is good. Legitimacy. Do people take your ruler seriously, or is he a laughingstock? That's all determined by your legitimacy. It also indicates how strong his claim to the throne is. Basically, you want a strong ruler with a strong claim. Like, yeah, he's pure blood, our family, you know? That's good. You want to have that. And then finally, we have power projection. Basically, how far your influence reaches. If you have high power projection, you get some bonuses, like you can have extra leaders, and eventually you can get extra points per month, which is great. But yeah, power projection, we're not going to have a lot of it in the beginning, which is fine. Now over here we've got 3 types of power. Administrative, diplomatic, and military power. That's all going to tie into things like research, developing our provinces, to get more stuff. For example, if we click on Uckermark here, we can use our military power, our diplomatic power, and our admin power here to improve this province for the rest of the game. Unless some event happens that takes it away, it is permanent. And every time we are to spend something, it's going to get more expensive to develop. But that's how you do things like increase your manpower easily, or get extra tax income. Anyway, for now, we're going to take a look at our rivals over here, because we are in a world with a lot of nations. And if we select some as rivals, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get stuff done. So we're going to go select our first rival, which will be the Teutonic Order. By setting them as a rival, we will announce to the world that they are our rival. We get the following benefits: more likely to ally their enemies, 25% extra prestige from defeating them in battles. Basically, because we told the whole world, like, yeah, we're in a fight, we don't like these guys. They'll be like, yeah, that's awesome. And we'll get more prestige. We won't have any trade efficiency penalty when embargoing, which basically means you want to have an economic trade embargo on your rivals. Also gets you a bit more power projection. You can build a spy network faster, which is how you get claims on provinces. And later on in the game, you can get some cool methods to screw people over. I've had some of those used against me the hard way. They can be pretty helpful. And we get 33% less diplomatic cost for demanding provinces in a peace deal. Basically, we can take more stuff in a single war. It'll cost us less points, and that's good. Now we're going to set some more rivals. We'll probably set Anhalt over here. It's a little one province minor, as they are called. They don't like us. Their army is... Wait, really? We do have an army. This just hasn't updated yet. Anyway, our army is stronger than theirs. They only have 4,000 men in total. We have 8,000. So we're going to rival Anhalt, and we'll inevitably take their land. I'm also going to rival this country over here, Pomerania. I don't like their face. And I'm planning to make them our secondary target. There's more to be done though. We have 2 diplomats free. We can send them to improve relations or establish alliances with people. For example, Poland over here. It's a pretty strong nation in the start. So we're gonna go and we're gonna make friends with Poland. We don't want Poland to attack us, and if we get attacked, we would like Poland's help in defending us. And vice versa, if Poland gets attacked, we will defend them, of course. For now. As we'll find out later, Poland will be one of our major enemies this playthrough. It'll be fun. Hopefully. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to choose another relations action. We're going to improve relations between us and Austria. I'm doing that for multiple reasons. One, I would like them to be allied with me. It gets me more relations boost with them, so they'll like me more. Secondly, they are the current ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. if we switch to the map mode over here, all these green tiles belong to the Holy Roman Empire. All these brown ones are electors, which are more important people in the Holy Roman Empire. These blue spots are free cities, which are basically trade republics, and they get special protection from the Emperor, which is indicated in red here, Austria. So this is basically all the countries that are currently in the Holy Roman Empire. If we declare war on any of them, without a proper reason, because we are in the Empire, we can do infighting, right? But if Poland, for example, were to declare war on us, Austria would defend us. So if we keep Austria friendly, they'll always come to our aid if we're in trouble. And if we take land within the Holy Roman Empire, which we don't have a core on, there's a difference between having a claim and a core. A claim is basically a piece of paper like, yeah, you'll have a reason to attack this for like 25 years. A core means it is part of your realm and people widely accept that. It's sort of like having 100 legitimacy. It's a strong claim on the region. Oh, they actually took away the core we had on Neumark. Interesting. It used to be that Brandenburg starts out with a core on Neumark, which is basically a free reason to go to war. Apparently they removed that, which is a little bit of a shame. Although, that won't be too much of a problem. We'll try and rectify that soon enough. But yeah, Teutonic Order is actually, as a ruler, as a country itself, it's not part of the Holy Roman Empire. They can join if they're friendly enough, but right now, we're gonna want to attack them. And then we're gonna attack Pomerania to probably grab Stolp at the very least, and perhaps Kolberg. So we'll take these 3 provinces first. Then I would like Danzig and Königsberg, so we can form Prussia. That's like the immediate goal. I'll try and get Poland on our side in an alliance. And then we can call them into the war to help us. And basically we'll use their help to defeat the Teutonic Order, and then they can't fight them in a second war right away. Because we're gonna have a bit of a territory rush with Poland over here. They want Danzig and Marienburg. They're gonna really want those provinces. They will hate us after we take those provinces. So we're gonna try and fight the Teutonic Order on our terms, and hopefully get Poland to back off, so that we get the land we want, and they can't get the land they want. That should be glorious. And you can already see we're using the diplomatic game to our advantage in multiple ways. We haven't even unpaused yet, that's great. Next up, we have free advisor slots. We can see here our court. We have our king, Prince Elector Friedrich II von Hohenzollern. That's our dynasty, our family. We're going to try and spread our dynasty across Europe later on, through royal marriages and whatnot, and that way we should hopefully be able to take advantage of the Game of Thrones, so they say. We've also got some pictograms over here. That's going to be ruler traits. These are actually new in the most recent expansion. By the way, I think I forgot to mention, I do have all the major expansions currently enabled. So all the mechanics and whatnot. Probably should have mentioned that, but veteran EU4 players probably picked up on that. So moving on. A ruler has the trait Incorruptible. There can be good traits, there can be bad traits. And as the tooltip says, an AI ruler with Incorruptible would avoid debasing their currency and send less gifts. These traits will have an effect on AI rulers, which is pretty cool. I like that. You can see we have pretty good modifiers. Our heir, so basically the person who will lead the country when our ruler dies. He's got Inspiring Leader. Our armies will be happier. They'll fight for longer. And then our Electress, which is basically the Queen Regent. If our ruler were to die before before our heir is 15 years of age, basically. Then we'll have an electress for a while. She'll take over the ruling of the country temporarily. You can also see our king, I'm just gonna call him a king. He's got different points over here. These points influence how many monarch points we get. So, you know, our monarch over here, he has these points. They're monarch points. And, of course, they are the admin, diplo, and military power. Having a good ruler is pretty helpful. But we can also hire advisors. They'll have a certain skill, and they'll add that to the ruler points. And later on we can even set a special focus to gain even more points. But for now I think we'll just leave it on standard. So yeah, I think that's enough explaining for now. We're going to grab ourselves a mission to save the Saxon people in Neumark, which is this province over here. Again, owned by the Teutonic Order. Effect on completion, we will get efficient integration, monthly autonomy change, which is good. We'll go for that. And you have a little description. Our brothers in Neumark are being cruelly persecuted. We have been courted by representatives of many of the major cities in the area who are insisted that they will do whatever they can to help integrate their region into our country, if we only free them from their oppressors. That actually gave us a claim on the province, so we can use missions to our advantage to gain claims as a reason to go to war. Anyway, I think it's about time we start actually unpausing the game. Right, apologies for the little cut there, but ready to unpause now, let's go. There we go, Poland has accepted our alliance offer. They're friends with us now. And we like friends, right? Yeah, we like friends a lot. Oh, there we go, we get an event right away. The Hohenzollern rule of Brandenburg. When the Hohenzollerns acquired the March of Brandenburg in 1411, the state had a long history of being very loosely governed, under Wittelsbach and Luxembourg overlords. Local nobility, clergy and the city councils have grown used to being left to their own devices. Robber barons and lawlessness are prevalent in many parts of the realm. Our dynasty has had some success in curtailing the power of the nobility and the burghers, often turning their strongholds into rubble in the process. We are, however, still far from the undisputed masters of these lands. Recently, even the clergy, common in all parts of our administration, seem to be working against us. If we are to avoid becoming just another temporary dynasty in this region, we must strongly assert our authority and build a government apparatus that we can trust. Clergy, for all intents and purposes, one of the three factions in our country. We've got nobility, clergy, burghers. If we make them happy, we'll get different bonuses. If we upset them, we'll get different penalties. Now we have two choices. We can either gain corruption and make the clergy like us, which would help. Or we can go ahead, lose some administrative power. And we'd also get a modifier to a country until the death of a ruler. That gives us extra unrest. But we also lose autonomy. You know what? I'm gonna go with that. Excellent. Now, our diplomat is now back from offering that alliance to Poland, which is good. We can't actually send him out yet. We need to wait a while. We can't just keep sending our dude over and over again trying to get everything done. So now would be a good time to look at other countries we would potentially interact with. We can't talk to Austria either at the moment. We could talk to someone like Sweden, although Sweden is currently being controlled by Denmark. Same goes for Norway. Denmark starts out pretty strong, having both personal unions with Sweden and Norway. So we'll have to watch out for them as well. I think we might actually want Bohemia to like us. Matter of fact, we can offer them an alliance, and they would accept that. Cool. So now Bohemia will like us for the time being. France is restoring a union. They're taking control over Maine. So the French are fighting the English. We all know how that went historically. Agincourt and whatnot. But yeah, over time we'll get a lot of useful messages here, like knowing Austria just entered a military alliance with Savoy. Sometimes we'll even get pop-ups, if things are important enough for us to know. Lithuania entered a military alliance with Poland. Now we're gonna have to watch out for that, because Lithuania over here might take a certain way in an event, and Poland would become their master, basically, in a personal union. I think we're gonna offer them a royal marriage. There we go. Royal marriages, they decrease our legitimacy a bit, but because of our royal marriage, we'll get a bonus to regaining legitimacy. We'll gain a little bit of improved relations with them. And it's also easier to improve our relations with them, I believe. And we get more chance to have an heir. Because, of course, we are now royally married to someone. Oh, there's a hunting accident. Really? Our heir just got killed. Wow. Our heir is actually better. Okay. Ooh. Poland did not. They took a König. Basically, they just got an event that basically told them, yeah, you can have a personal union over Lithuania. They don't have that, which puts us in a really good position to fight them later on. Pomerania, all a bunch of alliances are popping up. We can always see it on the little short screen here. I'm not really too worried about anything yet. We'll move our troops into there. And we'll offer a royal marriage to Bohemia as well. Great, we'll get them to like us a bit more. Now let's see if we can declare war against the Teutonic Order over here. Bohemia would not join, we don't own them favors, and they quite like the Teutonic Order, sadly. However, we can persuade Poland to join the war by promising them land. And then we'll tick the box, we'll call them in. Their allies will almost always join. It's a lot easier to get someone to join a defensive war than to have them join an offensive war. Our war goal here would be to take Neumark, and like the different CBs, or the casus belli, the reasons to go to war, will give different bonuses. And allow different things. For example, if we were to go for the Humiliate Rival, which is always available because they are our rival, we can't do a lot of things, as you can see. We could also go to war with no CB, however, we would lose 2 stability, we would gain 2 war exhaustion, which is bad. We'd get a bunch of aggressive expansion, and if you have too much aggressive expansion, nations around the world will start to gang up against you, basically. So that's bad, you don't want to do that. We'll just declare war with the reason of reclaiming Neumark. Because we have to claim on it. There we go. We're calling Poland into the war. Now, in theory, yeah, Mecklenburg just joined the war against us. So we're going to be sending our army over there. We are going to fight them. Now we can see Poland joined our war on our side. Moldavia and Mazovia both are vassals of Poland. And they joined as well. So we have 4 countries with a total of 33,000 infantry and 9,000 cavalry. And we have some boats versus the Teutonic Order, the Livonian Order, and Mecklenburg, which we will be fighting momentarily. They only have 19,000 infantry. And you can also see a detailed description of who owns what and whatnot. But their fleet's a lot bigger. But that doesn't matter. All we need is the land battles. Yeah, we're gonna watch this fight go down. And I'll hopefully explain things properly as we go along. Now, they have a ruler. Like, they have a leader. I'm sort of tempted, even though we're not gonna get a better leader than that, I think I'll make my general a ruler. My ruler a general. Not my... Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's got 1 fire modifier and 1 maneuver. Basically, those different stats help him do different things. At the moment, fire's not really that important, but there we go, we have them in a battle. We can see the casualties pop up every day. We've got a little interface down here. We can see that Brandenburg's discipline is 100% at the moment. Our morale is 2.6. We have 0.5 tactics. All of these things have different impact on the battlefield. And there's different ways to acquire them. We can see that their morale is a little bit higher. At least their base morale. It's because our prestige isn't great. And they have extra from traditions. But we can also see our morale bar is a lot fuller than theirs is. We've been doing a lot more damage to them and they've been suffering a lot more casualties. Damage in battles is based on rolls with modifiers. For example, we can see we rolled an 8 and they rolled a 1. However, their general is better in the shock value. So they get their general's shock value added to their dice result. Which basically means they do a lot better. And we have a terrain penalty because we're attacking in woods. So we get a -1. So there you go, that's a bit about combat. Now let's watch this go down. This horrible, horrible slaughter. That is totally a Brandenburgian victory. There we go. Battle is over. We have gained 0.88 prestige from fighting. We have gained 0.2 army tradition, which is important for recruiting generals. And it also affects things like morale and whatnot. So basically, high army tradition is good. We also get a little bit of war exhaustion because we did take some casualties. But we killed their entire army of 4,000 units. So that's good. Very good, in fact. We're currently standing in Rostock, which is their capital. So we're going to siege it. Currently we can see all the modifiers over here if we bring cannons later on. As soon as those things are invented. Right now we don't know what a cannon is. As soon as we bring a cannon, we'll get extra modifiers to our chance to take the fort. If our leader, our general, is very good at sieging, he will add some progress as well. If we're sieging a port, like we are, and we are not blockading it with our hostile fleet, they can still bring in supplies, so they can hold out a lot longer. Which means they get a -2 to the phase progress, which basically means progress to the siege. And then there's just, it's a level 1 fort, which you always have for free. Like your capital will always have a level 1 fort. If you build a level 2 fort, however, it stacks. So we have a garrison of 3,000 in our level 2 fort. Basic Fort 101 there. It's basically to prevent people all being overrun. Like, you will always defend your capital, even just a little bit. And right now, even though it's only a level 1 fort and we don't have any artillery, they are doing a very good job of holding us off. It's gonna take us a long time to break that place. Meanwhile, Poland is doing weird things. They're not fighting the 13,000 army of Teutonic people that are standing in their land at the moment, sieging out random provinces. Not sure why they're not fighting them, but they did just go and occupy Neumark for us, which I'm grateful for. Now I'm gonna try and perform a little bit of meta over here. We're gonna send a 1,000 stack of troops, basically a 1 stack, the smallest stack of army you can send without them really being... Basically, you can only send troops in 1,000, a regiment. So we're going to send 1 regiment over there. And we're going to be a little bit cheeky. As soon as they take Tuchel, we will walk into Marienburg. As soon as they move their troops in, we'll have enough people to effectively surround the entire castle and start the siege. And then we will lead the siege, because we were there first. And that'll also mean that we get control of the province, which gives us war score and allows us to make demands. It also means that they won't be able to get the province. Because currently, if we look at Neumark, it's stripy. It's occupied by Brandenburg. I think it was actually Mazovia that walked their troops in there and occupied it. And because they don't have any strategic interests over there, they transferred control to us. It's very kind of them. We could transfer control of the province, but we're not going to. Because we control the province, we can ask it in a peace deal. Right now, if we were to peace out, for example, just there, they wouldn't accept it, but we are asking them that Neumark becomes a part of Brandenburg, which is what we want out of this. And they just occupied Wismar for us, which is good. Again, we need that land. I'm going to be a bit careful. They might reasonably want to send their people in. And besides, there's forts next to it. Forts, by the way, have a one-province zone of control. So, for example, the fort in Marienburg would prevent movement for us anywhere over here. But because Tuchel is a fort and it's on the outside, we can walk in there. Berlin, same thing. We have a fort in Berlin. They cannot move through these provinces without going straight through Berlin and having to siege out the fort. We are currently taking attrition with our army, so I'm considering moving some of them out. Yeah, we've got some troops over here. If we move them out, we should still be able to do the siege. We've got less people in the province. And because we are sieging, we do take attrition, so hopefully doing that gives us a bit less attrition. There we go, we're still able to siege a level 1 fort, which is exactly what's present here. So we're not taking as much attrition. We're going to increase the game speed a little bit, because we've been going for a while. We haven't really made any progress yet. Not the real kind of progress, anyway. Ooh. There's currently 12,000 Polish troops over there. They might... Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, look at this! A king-elector has ascended in Bohemia. Ferdinand I von Hohenzollern. That's us! Oh, they have no heir at the moment, which is really good. If we get more prestige than Bohemia, we can claim their throne. If we claim their throne, and we declare war, because once you claim a throne, you can declare war. And if you then get 84% of the war score, basically you occupy nearly their entire country, we will be able to enforce a personal union on them, and they will basically become a vassal. They'll fight for us in our wars. We can eventually integrate them in our country. Not interpret. I'm great with words. But yeah, that's a really good twist of events. I just hope he doesn't get a child now. Or if he does get a child, I hope it's one with a weak claim. Because then we can also claim the throne. Which is basically the Brandenburgian way to success. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Also, that is a giant battle over here. Ooh, we've just been informed Magdeburg, this one province over here, has claimed the province Altmark. So they could go to war with us for it. And they're not likely to, but that's that. Meanwhile, we're watching Poland kicking the crap out of the Teutonic Order. It's great. They took a lot more casualties, and they also took a lot more war exhaustion. That's good. I like that. Meanwhile, we left our 1,000 troops in Tuchel. They all abandoned the siege, which means we now get the credit for the siege, rather than they. For all intents and purposes, that means, as soon as they come back in to help us siege it, Tuchel will be occupied by us. Again, that's good for us. We're going to move our 2,000 units in here. I'm going to split one of them off. We'll keep them in Culm. But right now we are keeping the siege progress because we have this one regiment over there. It's great. It's also a little bit cheesy, but technically it works since we haven't entirely abandoned it yet. They just left for a while to do other things. Like fight, which is fair enough. It was a good fight. Can't fault them for that. Meanwhile, they are recruiting new regiments. And our siege in Rostock has just breached the walls somehow. So that gives us a massive benefit to being able to take the fort. We now have a 21% chance every siege phase to take their fort. Siege phases are dependent on our siege ability and their defensive ability. You can get modifiers for that later on, that sort of thing. Right now, it just takes a random... it takes a set 30 days, that's the default. And there we go! We occupy Rostock. So we completely occupy Mecklenburg's lands. We could sue them for a separate peace. Ooh. Agricultural revolution. We can get a base tax in Ruppin. Let's quickly take a look at that. Getting additional base tax would give us 8 cents, basically 0.008 of a ducat every month until the end of the game, which is very strong. We could also gain a tiny bit of production income or a bit of manpower. I'm going to invest in taxes. But yeah, we're going to have to watch out for that giant army over there. They might try and fight our one stack, as in they will deplete our one stack. They'll just wipe it out right away. If you attack a small army with a large army, you will eventually stack wipe them. Which is bad for us. Yeah, we're going to abandon that siege. There's no reason for us to stay there right now. Actually, little dude, we're going to get you over there. You should be able to... Crap, I think we just killed him. Yeah, we just killed him. That's great. I tried to get something better and they got eaten up for it. Great. Gotta say, the Polish are very calm. They don't seem to go for many pitched battles. Let me take a look at the ruler. He's a sinner. Right. Fair enough. He's definitely not a saint, I'll tell you that. Ooh! Trust your neighbor. Although citizens are encouraged to show trust and good faith in their exchanges, the reality in many nations is that it's a risk people cannot afford to take. This, however, is not the case in Brandenburg. We have successfully stamped out corruption on so many levels in society. People not only trust officials to do their jobs without the extra help of a bribe, but they also trust each other more in general exchanges. This general belief in the honesty of others is the very thread from which the fabric of society is woven. And our country is a shining example of it. We gain a free point of stability, which gives us extra trade power, foreign spy detection, national unrest goes down, tax goes up, the cost for increasing stability even higher goes up. We get extra missionary strength if we were to convert religion. And we get institution spread, which is the thing we'll get to later. Right now we're trying to avoid that large army. They're pretty scary. I don't want to fight them all alone. You know, I think that makes sense. A peace offer from Mecklenburg. So they're offering to pay us money, pay us war reparations, which is 10% of their income every month for 10 years. We would get inflation for accepting the payment. We gain no casus belli. We have no casus belli against them. We also don't take anything, so we don't take any aggressive expansion. We get a bit of prestige. I don't want that peace deal. We can sue them for a separate peace, though, which is what I was going to do before we got that pop-up in Ruppin. We could ask them for land, but that's a bad idea. We don't have a claim on it. We don't have a core on it. What we could do is ask them to become our vassal. That might work. We would take between 1 and 27 aggressive expansion. Who are the biggest... I actually think I might want to go for that. It will cost us 48 diplomatic points, which is not great. But then we can later get them extra provinces and eventually annex them. I think we will ask them to be our vassal and pay us a bit of money. There we go, we'll just add the max. Now, some of that money is going to go to Poland, based on participation. Currently, Poland is doing a lot more than we are. So they're going to get more things. We can see over here they have 2/3, whereas we have 1/3. Basically involves participating in battles, sieges, and blockades. But yeah, we took 19,000 casualties in total, our entire alliance, and Mecklenburg took 4,000. We took a lot of attrition sieging. And there we go. We get a nice summary for everyone over here. And Mecklenburg is now our vassal. It's pretty nifty. Although, we have got to be very careful now. If we get too much aggressive expansion, people will get very mad at us. I don't want people to get mad at us. That leads to bad things happening. We're going to leave. That's a big stack. Anhalt is no longer a valid rival for us, so we have surpassed them, which gets us power projection. We also get a little power projection for declaring war on the Teutonic Order, which is also good. But yeah, we're going to have to find a new rival now. And we cannot add one while at war. Which is fair enough. That giant army is now going to go to Poland, I think. Nope, they're going to go back to Neumark. That's a shame. I really wish Poland was a bit more active. Lost to Humiliate. CB, that's fine. I'm going to send out a little 1-stacks here. I hope that Poland is going to go and fight them. I really do. Let's see, there we go. We managed to cheese it so that we are the attacker in the siege. We got there first. We called dibs. If it's cheesy but it works, it's not all that cheesy now, is it? I think we're going to send... No. We can't send him over there. We'd have to take out the fort in Königsberg first. I think we'll split the army then. We'll send 3,000 to take the province of Ermland. And the rest can relax. That's really bad. I want to get out of there. We will flee that in time, in theory. But now Poland is sending their troops to fight there. So I actually think I'll hop back in to get a bit of war participation. Which may or may not go up, I don't know. Anyway, we won a battle. I don't know how much prestige we got out of that, since it just shows the total. I actually don't think we got any participation at all, which is a shame. But honestly, I'm not that bothered. I'm just happy we took the province out. Now, because we have troops standing on Königsberg here, they're not going to unsiege Ortelsburg, which is nice. We've currently got sieges established on just about everywhere else. What I think I'll do, I'll move you guys in there. I'll tell, hey, you can attach friendlies. Mazovia might attach. I'm not 100% certain. Or not. Sometimes the AI will attach friendly units to there. Because, hey, you're a large army. Or, in theory you are. So they'll assign to you, why not? And it's easier to coordinate with the AI that way. Also a lot more reliable. Bavaria just rivaled Bohemia. I'm gonna keep a close eye on you, Bohemia. Because we can already claim your throne, my god. Apparently they have no prestige or something. Claiming their throne will result in a personal union if the monarch dies without a legal heir. However, if there's another claimant, we may get involved in a succession war. That's gonna be a lot of fun. We will take a 20 prestige hit. We will also suffer a relationship penalty with everyone we have a royal marriage with at the moment. I'm gonna do it. We have just claimed Bohemia's throne. And they broke their alliance with us. That is fair. They really dislike us. Because we used our royal marriage as a pretext to claim their throne. And you are currently very unhappy with us. The Liberty Desire is 48%. Why is that? All vassals relative power to us. Not too bad. That's why they're a bit happy. We'll train some more troops. We have 6 more limits. And we are training 3 new troops. So we can still train an additional 3. Because of our ideas and bonuses and whatnot associated with Brandenburg, later on Prussia, we're going to be focusing our army mostly around infantry, not cavalry. We can only have an army made up of 50% cavalry anyway. Which is not all that substantial. But yeah, these troops will be joining the front line soon. It does take us... like... it does take 1,000 manpower every time we build a new regiment. And we will need to recover our manpower eventually, so... that is something to keep an eye on. We currently have a free diplomat. I think we will offer a royal marriage to Austria. We haven't royally married them yet, so that should strengthen our position with them. Should also make it a lot likelier that they'll want to ally us, which would be nice. Basically, we want to keep them friendly. Very friendly. Papal controller, that doesn't really matter that much yet, so we won't really delve too far into that at the moment. Oh, for God's sake, you just pop up out of nowhere. Great, we're gonna lose that fight now. That's a bit cheeky, game. Come on. Boo. Yeah, we're gonna get murdered here. I'm gonna pull our troops back manually. Oh, sure, just ignore the order. Fantastic. They're gonna get stack wiped now. That's even better. Oh no, they, some reason, decided to hold off. That's good. Pomerania put a claim on Berlin. Nope, I'm still gonna get wiped. Great, thanks! Dicks. Poland is not helping at all, I've gotta say. Jesus Christ. They're very passive, more so than usual. Oh, for God's sake, get out of here, man! How can you even catch me with a 10,000 army? Great. Absolutely great! Sure, why not? Just screw me over like that, Jesus Christ. Poland, what the hell are you doing, man? You are useless. You are no help at all. See, there we go. You just need to kill their army a few times, come on. Stop leaving me hanging here. Well, we basically don't have an army anymore. I'm not perfect at this game, let me tell you that, but Jesus Christ, that was a dick move. Very annoyed with that. Trade League of Ragusa has disbanded. Interesting. There's not really any concern to us at the moment. Clergy's losing power. That's fine. Yeah, I wish Poland was a better ally, but no. We'll just use that as a pretense to declare war on them later. God. Had been said that the air has fog of war, but no, they can still see your armies from over. And no, they'll just jump on you when you can't see them, and you'll have no chance of getting away. That's great. We're already starting the first episode with Salt. This is going to be a great freaking series. Well, that's been it for this first episode. If you enjoyed it, let me know by leaving a like and perhaps a comment down below as well. Try to go easy on me. I'm not a great player. I'm just playing this for fun. I'm not gonna try and conquer the whole world or anything. So again, go easy on me in the comments, okay? If you want to watch more Europa Universalis 4, but you are not yet subscribed to the channel, do consider hitting that subscribe button right now. I'll be trying not to bulk record too much so I can take advice and criticism to heart. I imagine it'll mostly be criticism. Anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching. As always, until next time, have a good one, folks.